Hello, this is Gozer the Constructor, and this is my submission for the Meta Horizon Creator Competition Mobile Genre Showdown. The title of this game is Airbnb, as in breaking and entering. So this is my very first project I've ever made, dabbling in the Meta Horizon Creator desktop editor. I had a lot of fun doing this. It was an eye opener. Uh, I just again how much I just enjoy making video games. Um, I've only ever done side projects, but this is just a blast. This is so much fun. So this game is a asymmetric style game. It's going to be like 4v1, but the idea is that you will have a group of friends who've decided to rent an Airbnb, and the one cardinal rule is you don't party at this Airbnb, and they go ahead and they do it anyways. And so the owner, the host, decides to shut that down, and not in the correct way. So he sends one of his goons out there to handle business, and one of the goons is a randomly selected player. So what will happen is you'll start off at your location, waiting for your vehicles to take you there. That's the lobby. It's a kind of a short and sweet lobby. Kind of tagged on at the end. I was trying to get more of the meat going there before doing things like the lobby dress up. But the way that the game works is that there is a specific set of items that the players will need to achieve and take to a certain location. All the items are randomly placed throughout the map, and for the most part, they don't repeat. The same thing with a final location that a lot of the younger generation is not going to know of, but it's the old phone jack port, because you got to get a landline to get out of this place. You're locked in. The way it works is there'll be a key, there'll be a lockbox, there'll be the phone cable. Remember that used to plug into the landline and then into the phone itself? What you'll need to do is you'll get the phone line, bring it to the location where the jack is, and then the key will open the lockbox and the phone will come out. Get that over there to the lock or to the location. The two of those will automatically sync up, and you'll be able to make a phone call the 911 service, and request help. That will root you in place for a few seconds. So it's kind of like a risk reward thing. Clearly, you got to do it, but it may be better if somebody else can run a distract for you, and you can make the call. I've designed the game so that the enemy cannot, or the killer cannot see the required items or the final area where they'll be delivered. That way, to the best of my ability, prevents camping from happening. It would be up to the players to kind of do their thing to kind of keep it away to the best. You can turn off the dynamic lights. You can there's a breaker that will kill all the power, and that helps you to kind of maneuver and stay a little bit hidden. But at the same time, it makes fighting the items harder because I don't have a glow set up, because that was kind of the point. Um, it's nighttime. You're good with the lights until bad guy shows up, and then all the lights go out. You don't have flashlights, but you just got to see. You got to get the breaker turned on and do your hunting. Turn lights on as you go. Look around. Turn them off. Maneuver. Don't get killed. The killer is a little bit slower than everybody else. That way you can juke and jive and do your best to get around corners, shut doors, cut back, any of the thing that you can do to dodge the attack. The attack is also slow, um, so that's also helpful. I don't have any scoring in here. That was kind of a last minute thing I wanted to tag on as well. I tried to get the core of the game made and tested to the best of my ability. But I'm a single dev, and I know that there's forums in this, but I had to squeeze in what I could with when I could, and it wasn't as feasible as I would have liked. But this was a big project. I cranked out the map, um, all the code, um, gameplay mechanics. Everything was pretty much handled by me. I used all the assets that come with the editor, and did this and that with them to make some things look like other things, just normal things. And coding in TypeScript, luckily, I do that in my personal job. Oh, because I work with React. But so Meta Horizons, the editor. So the nice thing about that is it seems to be built off of Unity, and I do have previous experience with Unity. So that was some familiarity, which is great. Um, so I was able to kind of put things together. I had the idea of how the system worked. Obviously, things aren't identical, and it's still in its infancy. I can tell, but it's a cool product, and I was able to achieve. I did. I'm pretty proud of myself. I think the game is fun. It's clearly not all the way fleshed out. There's some bugs still, of course. And I'd like to take it. If it's popular, if people can see that, oh, there's something there, and they believe in the product, well, I'll push it further. If it just gets a ton of dislikes or something like that, I'm not going to push it. But yeah, asymmetric style games, I think are fun. They're a little bit different. There's a handful of them out there. Dead by Daylight, Piggy, um, and there was also some mechanics I wasn't able to get in here. Unfortunately, it broke. I don't know when. It was kind of off and on during my testing phases. I have a mechanic where you can hide in like a locker or a car in the chimney and some bushes, and you go into a first person mode. And it's it's another risk reward. If you're not in those, but the killer tries to check them, they go into like this search mode, and they get rooted for 3 seconds, so you can maneuver and do other things if you weren't there. But the camera transition only seems to work in the editor, and it stopped working in published builds. I don't know what caused it. I haven't been able to get it to work again. Anytime I did, it was temporary, and it would just break and be fixed, and break and be fixed. Anyhow, so you come back to the game. When you're selected as a killer, you will go into a kind of like an underground area where I guess you could be kept or live or something along those lines, and you'll be given a set of weapons and masks that you can wear, um, just for fun. That's something that could come down the line with scoring. You score more, you get more weaponry, more mass, whatever. You can be more silly, or more scary, depending upon what we were to do. And then you'll be randomly placed inside, on the outskirts, roughly, of the building, in because I think there's like four roughly spots. That way, you can kind of come in and as a surprise, and don't be directly on top of anybody, to give them just a few seconds to kind of like get their bearings, and then you might appear. And then I have like the little horror noises when you're within range. That'll it'll cue on the player. Just be one of those like jump scared ish moments. But there is there's some fun to be had here. I like lurking in the dark, that kind of style, and flipping the lights on, turning them off, flipping the breaker to kind of reset things, and then just hunt them down, and try to get them out of there, or the opposite, try to stay alive and get all the pieces that you need and make it out. Um, it's it's fun. Like, the footage that I have showing is myself, my son, and my wife. Um, it was pretty blast. They seemed to like it. There's some good laughs, and of course, this was all just done tonight, really for the first time. Other than that, I've had my wife just kind of doing running some just multiplayer testing to check functionality. But this was more of the first time that we've actually played a kind of like how the game would actually flow, and they seem to have a good time. And I think they can see the vision, and I think it's pretty clear how this would operate. But I just wanted to ensure that the location looks really good. There's enough space. And I really wish I could have got my hide mechanic to work in mobile. Um, it's pretty nifty. I also had the camera. The camera would shake when they were gonna get closer, and I was gonna do a little mini game. Didn't make that. That didn't make the cut. Um, but it was a good time, and I hope everyone enjoys it. I don't have to win, but if everybody gives me enough, like, hey, this is really good, I see it. You should go forward with it. That'll probably be motivation enough for me to push it a little further and get it out there. And not just be another project that dies off to the side, which I have a whole bunch of those. But that's really all. I appreciate the contest, the opportunity, and I hope you all enjoy my product. It's a little sliver. It's pretty good for the amount I was able to crank out in roughly a month because I was definitely late getting to it. And thank you. Good luck to everyone else.